my old banger Ford Escorts lined up together. I can pretty much build this whole car up. I've got some bits to show you. If anyone's after any 4-door GL black door cards, drop me an email. I was super careful to put the coats on thin. These two strangers that we haven't seen on the channel for a while. This is the latest addition to your collection. Have you got a driving licence yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. 1600 Crossflow running on a twin choke.
Yeah, I've got a few Pintos lying around and I've got another Crossflow.
What a cool Mark II van. Hello and welcome to this video. I'm Marcus Hayes and today you join me round at the garage where for the first time in quite a while I've got all three of my old banger Ford Escorts lined up together. Well, it's a beautifully sunny, if very cold day here at the garage today, and the day is actually running out. There's a big shadow cast over all three of the cars where the sun has gone down behind the houses. Maud, my Mordor Mark II, is still on daily duties, although she is a bit boring with her open diff, but you know, surviving daily duties. Obviously, I've been spending most of my time recently on Heidi, and Esther isn't officially hibernating yet, but yeah, I do have some bits I want to do to this thing over the winter as well. And I do actually have one thing to show you for Esther, which won't be getting fitted yet, but we'll come to that in a minute. I've actually had Heidi for ages, and up until very recently, the only thing I'd really done was sent this thing to Chris Kemba to have some rust repair done, mostly on the bottoms of the inner wings, but there was a couple of patches that he did inside. In fact, I still need to paint those bits beige. There's one bit there and one bit there, and if I remember rightly, the other side had an inner and outer arch put in by Chris, I think. But yeah, before it went to see Chris all that time ago, I did rattle can the interior, and yeah, this 2-pack paint is nowhere near as good as the stuff that I've used inside the boot, but I will be running a full interior, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, more recently I did prep and paint inside the boot, and I'm over the moon with how that came out. And then obviously very recently, my good friend Rob painted the door shuts and the engine bay. I'm going to leave my good friend Rob's contact details in the description for any of you guys out there that need any paintwork for your projects. And now I'm in a position where I can pretty much build this whole car up, apart from putting the glass in and stuff like that, and then we can get this thing painted on the exterior in the summer. There's so much going on behind the scenes with this car, with, you know, ordering parts and just trying to think about what order I'm going to do things in, and yeah, just planning videos. So yeah, I can't wait to really sink my teeth into this thing. There is one thing that I've got to do before that, which isn't exactly exciting, and I want to make a start on that today. But before we get into that, I've got some bits to show you. Alright, so over on this table, which also doubles as a Ratlook Mark II Escort, we've got a bucket of bling, which we'll come to in a minute, and also some parts that have been sandblasted and powder coated by my friends at MicroBlast Services. I'm going to leave MicroBlast Services links in the description. If you need any sandblasting, powder coating, bead blasting, cerakoting, or anything like that done, definitely get in touch with the guys at MicroBlast Services, and don't forget to mention my name. They're based in Windsor. Now originally I planned to have these bits powder coated gloss black, but Sam from MicroBlast got in touch with me to let me know that, you know, they are very pitted, these parts. They're not in the best shape. So he advised me to go with satin black for these parts instead, which I definitely think was the right move. A gloss finish shows up all the imperfections on things, and you know, I'm building up Heidi to be a usable classic. I don't need everything underneath her to be, you know, absolutely shiny. And although I'm planning to have stuff, you know, at the top of the engine bay done in gloss black, I think for stuff that's underneath, satin black is fine. And yeah, these are looking a whole lot better than they were when I dropped them off to MicroBlast. All these bits looked like they were ready for scrap, but now they're looking really tidy. This cross member, again, wasn't in the best shape. You know, you can see some sort of roughness here where, you know, there's lots of pits of rust and stuff, but, you know, they've all been sandblasted, all the rust has been removed, and now they've been coated in a really hard-wearing finish. Powder coating really is much more resistant to chips and that sort of thing than paint is. I do have a gloss black piece up here though, and this is the spare rocker cover that I've had done for Esther, my Mk2 Escort, and I wanted that done in gloss black because yeah, she is more about the bling. I do need to chop off this original breather and plug it and drill a new one on the side. Probably should have done that before I got it powder coated, but it will be absolutely fine. And yeah, that looks awesome in gloss black. Now onto the zinc plated bits now, and some of these bits really weren't in very good condition. Things like the anti-roll bar clamps, and these really were in a state. I mean, look how rough they are. Yeah, all the pits of rust just show, so they're not great. And annoyingly, I recently sold 2 sets of these on eBay that needed zinc plating, but they were in much better condition than these. And I kind of wish I'd sort of had a closer look at Heidi's ones, and then I could have chosen, you know, one of those other sets to get zinc plated. But it is what it is. These will get fitted, and you know, I can change them later on. I'm not that bothered. Again, you know, these bits are underneath the car. They don't have to be absolutely mint. But you know, the zinc plating process, it just saves a lot of hassle. You know, I can give him a bucket of stuff and they come back shiny and rust free. But yeah, also got the striker, I think that's called, for inside the boot. Yeah, you get the idea. Love zinc plated stuff. And yeah, another thing that was really bad were these castellated nuts that go on the end of the anti-roll bar. Again, very pitted, but you know what? They'll do. So yeah, I'm absolutely itching to start bolting things to Heidi. You know, I've got some other bits that I've been restoring whilst the body shell was with my good friend Rob. So yeah, over the next few weeks, I'm going to be having a lot of fun bolting bits to this thing. But there is one job I need to do before I can do any of that. And as I've already mentioned, it's not a very exciting job. So yeah, before we run out of sunlight, I'm going to crack on with that. Now, the job in question is to repaint things like the dashboard and up the inner A-pillars satin black. There's also another couple of areas that I need to do. Where the feet to the seats go, they need to be, you know, just have a patch of satin black sprayed there, just so that, you know, the holes in the carpets that the bolts go through, just so you can't see beige through them. And also, I need to paint this sort of plinth that the rear seat sits on. Now, when we got this car back from Rob's the other day, me and my beautiful girlfriend spent time taking all this stuff out. You know, we gave the interior a hoover. I cleaned things like the door cards and stuff and hoovered them. I hoovered the rear seat, and then we stacked everything back in here. And then one of you guys reminded me when I put a post out asking which areas need to be satin black, that plinth bit needs to be satin black. So yeah, I'm gonna have to take all of this out to do that. Oh, if anyone's after any 4-door GL black door cards, these came out of Maud, just get in touch, drop me an email. They're not in the best shape, but they don't have any holes cut out of them for speakers or whatever. So yeah, let me know. But the brown ones are definitely not for sale. They're going back in this thing. Once I'd emptied Heidi's cockpit, I gave it a hoover out and then got the Gold Flex sandpaper out so that I could key up the areas that were going to be satin blacked. After another quick hoover out and some masking, it was time to grab the Kent Satin Black spray paint. I applied it to the areas on the floor that were welded by Chris Kember at Clump Fab, as well as all the areas I mentioned earlier in the video. And when it came to the area below the rear seat, I was super careful to put the coats on thin to avoid reaction. One area that I forgot about was on the parcel shelf just below the rear windscreen. So I gave it a key and a hoover and then sprayed that satin black as well. Alright, job done, and thankfully it looks like this piece along here, which was the most important bit to get looking good, hasn't reacted. I did get some reactions on some of these areas. This one was the worst, and when the paint was dry-ish, I just gave it another quick sand and then dusted some more black on. But yeah, with this bit at the back, I really focused on giving it light coats and building them up, and so far no reaction, but we'll see how it dries. And one thing that I forgot to do until sort of the last minute was up here, just so that when you look through the holes in the parcel shelf, you can't see body colour. I've got a feeling that's going to react, but you can hardly see it through the parcel shelf anyway, so you know, just so that it's, you know, shadow black, that's absolutely fine. And then yeah, the bits of welding that Chris Kember done, I just blacked them while I was at it, because yeah, the car's going to have a carpet anyway. So yep, job done. But yeah, still need to tackle doing the dash and up the A-pillars, and this is going to need to be done, you know, relatively well. I want this finish to come out really good, but that'll have to wait for another day, because yeah, the sun's going to go down soon. But before I get out of here, let me show you another old school Escort that's shown up, that belongs to these two strangers that we haven't seen on the channel for a while, the Coogans. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Now, I can't keep up with this lot. They're always buying and selling cars, and I like this one. All right, David.
You're
so
right.
this is the latest addition to your collection, which is ever changing. Always buying and selling stuff.
Got to be done.
Have you got a driving licence yet?
Not yet.
No. All right, tell us a story with this. How was it when you bought it? Was it like this when you bought it?
Pretty much the same. Still need to do a few bits on it. I've got some interesting plans for it. I've got a set of 9J mini lights, which I'm tempted to make fit. Going to tune up the engine a bit, or maybe swap it out for a Pinto.
Cool.
Obviously, it's got little bits of rust coming through, so
every Escort does.
Yeah, it might sort them. So.
No, really nice. I love the colour. It's not actually Olympic blue, is it, you're saying?
No, it's Riviera blue, which was like the Mk2 Escort Mexico colour.
Cool.
But
yeah,
it's quite similar, to be fair.
No, I really like vans. You know, obviously these things got a hard life back in the day, so it's very rare to see like a tidy looking van, and it is very tidy. At the moment, I'm guessing these are Capri laser wheels it's sitting on?
Well, it's got 3 Capri laser wheels and 1 genuine RS wheel.
Okay, have a look into the interior, because there's one addition, very nice modern touch. Check out the Fiesta, is it? ST seats?
Yeah, it's a Fiesta ST150 seats.
Cool. Way more comfortable than any seats these things would have come with.
Definitely.
But yeah, loving the colour-coded dash. I wish I left Esther's dash Olympic blue. I think it looks really cool having a colour-coded dash with the black bits on it. Some sort of Mountney aftermarket steering wheel. Some sort of aftermarket gear knob. It's got a modern Kenwood stereo. But yeah, really smart. Aftermarket window winders, alloy door cards, and with it being a van, plenty of space in the back to carry parts around and whatnot. Oh, it's all nicely carpeted in there as well. Really cool. Well, while we're here, I suppose we'll pop the bonnet and have a look at the heart of the beast. And we've got a nice little crossflow. This 1600, is it?
Yeah, just a standard 1600 at the moment.
Ah,
It's
really
got a few nice hoses on it, but
yeah, a few aftermarket touches, the alloy rad, the hoses, as David just mentioned, 1600 crossflow running on a twin choke. But you say you got plans to either upgrade this engine a bit or fit one of the many, I'm guessing, you've got stashed away.
Yeah, I've got a few Pintos lying around, and I've got another crossflow, so I might build a 1700 crossflow for it, or a 2.1 Pinto, it depends.
Yeah, nice. But yeah, really cool, as I say, to see an old school Escort van round here. All right, we are fast running out of daylight, and the Coogans are off, so we can hear this thing run. What a cool Mk2 van. Anyway, I need to pack all this lot up. I think I'm actually going to try and put all this stuff on the roof and just don't bother putting anything on top of there, because yeah, it's so cold that paint isn't going to be dry properly. I realised whilst editing this video that I forgot to satin black the bits of Heidi's floor pan where the rear feet of the front seats go. I also forgot to put some seam sealer around the patches on Heidi's floor, so yeah, I'll have to do those little jobs next time I go around the garage. And next time I go around the garage, I'm planning to repaint Heidi's dash, and I want to make a nice job of that bit. And once that's done, I can really dive into, you know, bolting on all the shiny bits. I've been restoring loads of bits here at home. I've actually been working on another couple of bits, which you'll be able to see in the next video. So yeah, pretty soon the project is going to get pretty exciting. Got to send a huge thanks again out to Sam and Alan at MicroBlast Services for blasting and powder coating those bits that I showed you earlier in the video. Obviously, massive thanks again to my good friend Rob for his efforts with Heidi's paintwork, and massive thanks to Kent Europe for supplying the satin black paint that I've used in this video. I'll leave all their links as usual in the description. But yeah, other than that, I'm going to end this video here. If you did think it was any good, please do give it a thumbs up and a share. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. Click subscribe if you're new. Feel free to follow me on Facebook, TikTok and Instagram. Check out my website for merchandise and car parts. Massive thanks as always to my Patreons for your ongoing support. I'll leave all the links to everything in the description as usual, along with my email address for anyone who wants to contact me. But other than that, until next time, thanks for watching.
Oh.